Hi, good morning, Star Seeds and Angels. I'm Sam. I'm the healer's healer, and I'm here to wiggle around and chat with you today a little bit about what's going on. So, things are getting really weird in the world, and there's a lot of negative energy to transmute, and my specialty is caring for the meat suit vessel so that you can properly transmute all the energy. Sure, yes, you can do it if you are still eating lower density and lower vibration foods. You can transmute energy because obviously we're all powerful creators. And when you consume low density food, you make it harder for yourself, first of all, to transmute the energy. And then you also, because when you eat the low density food, so I'm going to actually, if you're here with me, hi. I have a tendency to want to rush. I want to tell you everything really fast right now. I wish I could just bloop. Kind of like in The Matrix, how they just upload, you know, how he goes to that one place and then he suddenly knows taekwondo or karate or whatever the martial art is that he knows that makes him be able to do the thing, right? We have those powers. The food that we eat matters. There are a lot of light workers that say oh, well, you can just, pray over your food or do Reiki over your food or transmute the energy. Yeah, but God, Most High, Source, Creator, sent us here in a vessel. I personally like the Bible. The Bible says that your body is your temple, right? So if we understand Christ consciousness, we understand that Christ is within us. We understand that the temple of Christ is our body. And so when you put things into your temple that are not aligned with the high frequency vibration that you are meant to carry as a crystalline child of Christ, you make it really difficult for yourself. You often will encounter chronic illness, inflammation, uncomfortable digestion, hormonal problems, what else? Just a whole plethora of negative experience, on top of the fact that, so let's just say we'll start at fast food, right? So fast food, everything is energy. We can agree on that. So fast food is an amalgamation of, at least, I heard the statistic once that I'm going to use a really obscure reference, Smithfield's Barbecue. It's a chain in North Carolina. I heard the statistic once that inside of any one Smithfield's Barbecue sandwich, there's up to 40 pigs inside of one sandwich. Okay? Since I heard that, a lot of more really disturbing detail has come out about the supply of meat in the United States, and how many fast food restaurants have had DNA tests done on the burger patties, and there is up to 2% human DNA inside of the patties. So take that how you want. So when we consume fast food, we're just going to stick with that for now. We're going to stick with fast food for now. When we as light workers, empaths, starseed, however you want to identify yourself, child of God, any of that, when we consume fast food, we have to transmute so much dense energy, because let's assume the best and assume that all of the meat inside of the burger are animals and not our fellow man, right? They are all the animals are factory farmed. So you can imagine the vibes and the energy that is happening on a factory farm. If you've never watched a documentary of that, I suggest you do, to understand the level of fear and anger and terror and just general uncomfortability that comes from the existence, even before there's even the death process, just existing in a factory farm. The animals are too close together. They don't have sanitary conditions. They're very sad. They're very scared. They're very uncomfortable. So all of that is where your meal started, right? And so then these animals are put onto trucks where they're, again, sad, scared, full of adrenaline, confused. They are probably tired. They probably are malnourished, right? Because at this point, we feed filler grains so that they become fat quickly, and not to nourish them, to make them nutrient dense food options at the end of their life. Their lives are cut short. They're not living their full lifespan. Their lives are being cut short for mass production of food. And so then they get on the transport truck and they go to the slaughterhouse. So slaughterhouse already just sounds horrid, right? Like, no one wants to go to a slaughterhouse. No one. So we can imagine, without me going into great detail, how awful the vibes are. So that is also a part of your meal. So then from there, they're probably, let's just think about this. So they go from the farm to the slaughterhouse to maybe like a butcher, but it's an industrial butcher, so it's probably a machine. So it's pretty soulless. It's very mechanical, right? So there's no love going into any process of this so far. None at all. And so you're getting those vibes too. The very empty, soulless, cold, mechanical vibes are also a part of your meal. And so then from there, they probably go to like a processing plant, which again, same things, cold, soulless, mechanical. But then they're probably also getting hit with some sort of like sanitizer, right? So there's some chemical that's also being added in there, whether it's deliberately or just from cleaning the machine and then having the residue be left behind. So then that is also a part of your meal. And then, so from there, let's just say that the next step is at the restaurant. There are probably a couple of steps between, but I'm not really clear on what they are. I'm sure that like the burgers have to get pattied and then frozen and whatever. So all of this is being done on a factory level. So not only is it cold, soulless, mechanical, but then there's also humans in there who are coming in with their own situation every day. And the people who work in slaughterhouses or factories, they're not necessarily going to their job because they love it. They're going to their job because they're in survival mode and they need a paycheck. So you're also taking in those vibes of survival. And so that's a part of your meal as well. So then let's take it to the restaurant. When was the last time you had fast food, and was the worker having a good day, right? So my experience of fast food is that the workers are generally a little lackadaisical, a little bit rushed. They are generally not making enough money, so they're also in survival mode. Often they're not kind, and this isn't to like speak negatively of fast food workers. This is just like the reality that a lot of times if you are at a place in life where you need a job in a fast food restaurant, you probably are closer to survival mode than creator mode, than living in your highest timeline. I don't personally feel that it's anyone's highest timeline to work in fast food. It is in someone's highest timeline to work in restaurants, but there's a different energy in a sit-down traditional restaurant than a fast food restaurant. Like fast food, food isn't really meant to be fast. It's meant to be intentional. It's meant to be nourishing. It's meant to be an experience. We're fueling our vessel that God gave us to navigate the earth realm. And we're meant to do that with care and not in the car while we're driving to another place, or we go in and we get it and we're not even sitting down because the tables are sticky and the people are rude, and you know what I mean? So every person that handles your meal is adding vibes to your meal that you're going to have to transmute once you take it in, right? So if you just think about all the things that we've covered, that's already a lot of transmutation just to put a hamburger in your mouth, right? Versus if you eat local, if you can find a farmer, they know the name of the cow. Maybe they have too many cows and they don't know everyone's name, but their cows are treated with respect. They're treated kindly. There are fewer steps between the farm and your table. They're not blended with seed oils. You're probably only getting one cow at a time instead of an amalgamation of up to from 40 to 400 cows at once, right? I'm sure everyone remembers the pink slime debacle of the McDonald's chicken nuggets. And if you don't know about pink slime, literally just Google pink slime chicken nuggets. You'll probably never eat them again. So when we choose food that's local, that's grown with reverence, that's processed with love, we're automatically lightening our own burden so that we can do the real work that we came here to do, which is transmute the darkness off of this planet. We're here to help deal with the density of Earth and to transmute it so that Earth Gaia can ascend into her next level and we can go with her. When you're eating fast food, you're putting so much burden on yourself and you're taking away your own personal power and your own personal ability to transmute the greater collective density because you're having to process the density of the food that you just put into your temple. And so why is that an issue? For multiple reasons. One, that it's selfish, first of all, because when you're eating fast food, you're only thinking of your own needs. You're thinking of your hunger, which God swears that He will provide everything for you in due time. So if you can't wait 2 hours to eat, then you're not living in alignment. If you have to get fast food, you're not in alignment, unfortunately. And also, you're diminishing your ability to help the collective, which is what you came here for. If you resonate with being a starseed, an earth angel, a chosen one, a child of God, you came here to be of service. You did not come here to please your taste buds through bullshit, to be frank with you. Those foods are laced with chemicals to keep you addicted, to keep you numb, to close your pineal gland. Like, it's proven. And you also may be practicing cannibalism. So that is not what a light worker does.